Dimensions. Dimensions are sets of three frequencies of consciousness. Manu Manara, Partiki Partika Partikam. Every dimension has structures built on KEYLONs. So a dimension is literally a structure of KEYLONs, which are complex standing scalar waves formed by clusters of Partiki Partika Partikam. Dimensions build on each other. From down here where we are, it looks like they get bigger as they go up. From source it looks like they get smaller as they go down. They cycle, and that is called Partiki phasing. They flash on and off, but they are not just individual. They group together and they form, first, strings of these units, and those strings then form grids, like cross-hatched grids of these units, like a fabric being woven, a fabric of light and sound, of vibration and oscillation of energy units. And those grids end up with three different rhythms of flashing off and on that form a three-dimensional base structure that creates KEYLONs. A dimension is composed of a set of KEYLONs. As an example, let us say dimension 1 is composed of a set of 12 KEYLONs. Dimension 2 is composed of a set of 12 KEYLONs but also has the 12 from dimension 1. In dimension 3 it would be 12x3. They build on each other. D12 equals 12x 12 equals 144 KEYLONs. KEYLONs are like the voltage and wattage of consciousness. The amount of KEYLONs in a dimension will determine how much consciousness it can carry. It will direct how many strands of DNA they are capable of forming. If your template of identity only has 12 KEYLONs, you will only have enough to make one DNA strand, not enough to become a three-dimensional biological being. You need a minimum of 36 KEYLONs in the template for this. 3x12. The KEYLONs build up to form the matter, the atomic structure of everything around us. KEYLON crystal body. KEYLONs are basically three-dimensional forms of light and sound waves. They are three-dimensional because you have three different lines of Partiki, Partika and Partikam flashing on and off at three different rhythms, which creates a three-dimensional format. This is the basis of what we call the crystal body, the KEYLON crystal body. Everything in manifestation, including the entire universal framework itself, has a crystal body structure. Later we come to call these the shields. When we talk about the standing scalar wave shields, we are talking about a part of the crystal body structure, but in truth every part of our matter has a crystal structure to it. It has this structure of Partiki, Partika, and Partikam as the core template. We call a Partiki grid the crystal body because of the KEYLONs. As three-dimensional units of light and sound, they form crystallizations of light and sound, pre-light and pre-sound that eventually become light and sound that eventually become crystallized thought forms or matter. This is a process of taking a thought form into primal force attention using the Trinity pattern-based 12 divine blueprint, and progressively building it up into a crystallization where the thought of God becomes crystallized into manifest holographic forms that hold portions of the consciousness of God a bit separate from itself, even though it is within itself, so that it can stand back and look at itself and its creation. God knows itself through us and we know ourselves through God because we are one and the same. We have a personal crystal body, a personal KEYLON structure, a crystal thought form light sound body. This is our scalar wave template. Scalar wave template equals crystal KEYLON body. When we work with our crystal KEYLON body it will turn on more and more KEYLONs, scalar waves, pulling in more consciousness like it was meant to do. Our crystal body is similar to Christmas tree lights, constantly turning on and off in syncopated pattern. We are constantly returning home to God but do not remember. We put our eternal consciousness into three focuses at the same time through the Divine Trinity, Partiki phasing, making them do different things in order to perceive this hologram that is created through that process. Interaction. Our cosmic KEYLON structure, whole, is called the Amoria crystal. All of this applies to both the macrocosm and the microcosm. All have the same structure, scalar template. This is the basic primal substance and all sorts of other things come out of this, including electrons and protons and neutrons and where a whole bunch of other trons that go all the way up a 15-dimensional scale fit in, where we have 15 dimensions in one 15-dimensional time matrix. Each dimension represents one flash line of Partiki, Partika and Partikam with a specific flash line rhythm. So dimension 1, for example, would have a slower flash line. They flash on and off slower. Dimension 2 would be faster. You get up to dimension 15 and it is really fast. These standing waves that form standing wave grids form movement on the inside of matter. When we get into waves that move here in the electromagnetic spectrum, are light and sound waves and gamma waves on one end and infrared on the other, and all the other stuff science does not know is there yet. It is because of the interaction of these standing waves, how they behave and how they cycle, how fast they flash on and off in relation to each other and at what angles, that other waveforms come into perceivable manifestation. It is part of the holographic process, where we are actually all made of these right now, and everything in the room is made of them. The air is made of them. Every molecule that exists, every atom, every electron is made of them. But we do not see that, because our consciousness has anchored itself into a very specifically organized pattern or shield of particle units, of standing waves, that bends the energy of our consciousness into very specific relationships, so we are able to see different types of reality fields. It all comes back down to particle, particle, and particum, the units that form grids that form three-dimensional grids, which form crystalline structures of light and sound. Now these are, of course, living structures, because the units themselves were units of the consciousness of God. They were and they always will be, and that means we are, too. This means you cannot escape the original source of creation, because we are living embodiments of it, and not just our minds being an embodiment of it, our spirit being in the image of God, but everything is in the image of God, as an energy form. A conscious energy form that can take on any form or no form. When we get past understanding that we are made out of light and sound waves, particle, particle, and particum, we get into the structure that this primal substance forms, and that is where we start to understand the body of the cosmos. Before we can understand really well our own bodies, it helps to understand the framework that we live within. Because the same template that was used to manifest universes and galaxies and cosmos is the exact same template that is used to manifest everything in the microcosm as well. If we can understand the cosmos, if we can understand a planetary Templar that would be energy grids and stargates, we will also understand the inner energy grids and stargates within our body. We will understand our own structure. And the advantage of understanding our own structure is that once you understand it, you can learn how to use it well to serve the intentions that you would like, instead of being run over by your biology.